What's up, everyone? Welcome and thank you for your interest in the Tandem Cyber Solutions Independent Sales Rep program. Yeah, it's a very cool opportunity that we're excited to share, excited to bring people on, and it is a continuously opened role for our company. Open to anyone in the continental US where you can do sales kind of on your own time, and we'll talk about that today in this presentation. So let's go ahead and get started. Tandem Cyber Solutions, who are we? We'll talk about that. Then we'll talk about the program specifically and who it's for. So Tandem Cyber Solutions, we believe in securing organizations, and we have a great motto here: improving security one network at a time. So who are we? Well, we are specifically into offensive security services. So offensive, not as insulting, but as in, if you think about football, you have the offense and the defense. The offense is in charge of taking the ball down the field and getting points. In the cybersecurity world, the offensive team are those who are attacking organizations to uh, attempting to find vulnerabilities and exploits and things like that. So that's what we're doing here. Our three main services are network penetration testing, web app penetration testing, and then vulnerability scanning. We won't dig into the specifics of what each one of these are. We'll talk about some generalities here, but we'll save all that for another video where we can take a nice deep dive. So for now, just note that these are three services that our sales rep are selling on top of our consulting capabilities. So what are the benefits of a penetration test specifically? So VulnScan, sure, in some cases, but more specifically, a penetration test. And that is that we're simulating what a real attacker would do if they were to target an organization or clients, for instance. And that's really what they want to know. How well do our defenses stand up to a real adversary? Because that's what we call the bad guys. They're the adversaries. That is what the entire security programs are built around, is deterring and stopping adversaries from infiltrating and impacting business operations. And while we're doing that, we're identifying security gaps, so things that would be taken advantage of by the adversaries. So those are your two big, massive benefits there. One, you get to see the security from the eyes of the attacker. Two, you get those security gaps before the real attackers find them, so that in theory they can be fixed before they're taken advantage of. And then finally, this is a third-party assessment, meaning we have zero vested interest in our client's security, except that we want to find problems. So third party as in a vendor's doing it versus an internal team. And you'll see in a lot of cases that programs require a third party to do these. Also, some regulations, some requirements, some compliance. These also require a non-vested organization to do the assessment. That's where we come in handy. All right, so that's kind of in a nutshell what our tests are. Let's talk about what makes us so special. These certifications in our consultants. I am the lead consultant. My name's Michael. I'm also one of the co-founders of Tandem Cyber Solutions. Should have talked about that earlier. But yeah, we're amazing at what we do. And you will not find this at most organizations. I actually have most of these certifications. These are things we like to stay up to date. We like to stay relevant. We like to stay on the bleeding edge. And we want to provide that knowledge and that expertise to our clients. Again, very different than a lot of organizations out there. There are some really amazing ones. I've had people I've worked with that are absolutely amazing that work in all kind of other organizations. I'm not saying all organizations are bad, but most you just won't see this level of certifications, this number of certifications at each organization. All right, so that is kind of what we do at Tandem. Again, we'll go into it in another video, but let's talk about what everyone is here for, and that's the sales program, right? So we like to say we have three pillars that this program sits on, and that's flexible, generous, and supportive. These are the three pillars that we believe will make it successful. But before we dive in, we want to make sure that you are eligible so that you don't waste your time watching the rest of the video, of course. So one of the things is that you have to be in good standing. So this doesn't prevent you from getting in the program, but once you're in the program, you have to maintain good standing in order to keep collecting commission. And all that means is that you can't have violated your contract, one, and then two, you have to be an active member of our sales rep program. Now, to be eligible, you have to be 1099 eligible and authorized to work in the U.S. So yes, U.S.-based people only. And again, you must be 1099 eligible. We're not sponsoring anybody, anything like that. This is just for 1099 eligible people. And then the last thing, in order to become a full-blown sales rep for Tandem, you have to pass a verbal exam. And all that's going to be is you trying to sell penetration tests to me. So we just want to make sure that you understand the lingo, you understand how to communicate the benefits of our services, and that you are ready to engage clients. Once you can pass that, you are good to go. You are ready to get out there, start making some commissions, making some sales. All right. So now that that's out the way, the hard part, right? Let's talk about what this program is about, who it's for, the summary of the role, and the types of sales reps that we have seen come into this program. So the workflow in general of how a sales rep will find work and then get a commission, right? That's kind of the life cycle of being a sales rep here is one, you find leads. That's kind of your primary goal is to go out, find leads, find prospects, and make the sales happen. And yeah, this isn't easy. This is tough. It requires some persistence. It requires some creativity. And this is all you. This is you trying to figure out how to make it work for you. Now, once you get a great prospect who's ready to move forward, you submit the lead to our portal, and then we take over and start doing the engagement, start meeting with the client, start working on the contracts and things like that, carrying out the work. But the great thing is that this work doesn't go dark for you. You'll be able to maintain updates, again, using our portal, our sales portal, to see where the project is in terms of its life cycle. So you can see when the contract's done, when the work's done, you can see when your commission should be coming into your bank account. So that's what we do for you. And then finally, the fourth part is the actual commission, right? The best part about the job, getting paid. So that's the final step here. You get paid. Now, so far, it sounds just like a general sales role, and it's not exactly that. So some of the things that make this program different than others is that you get continuous commission. So you get the same commission every year for all clients who stay. So what I mean by that is if you sell, you bring on a prospect, they become a client, we do a pen test, and then next year we do the same pen test, you get the same commission that you got this year, the next year, and the next year, and the next year, as long as you are a sales rep in good standing. So that's different. That is unique to our program. And what this means is that it becomes a game of compounding commission. So instead of having to maintain the relationships like most sales reps, you can, but you don't have to. Most of our clients stay. You can focus on finding new prospects. And so that each year you should be building on the number of clients that you have engaged and brought over to Tandem, and you start looking at it as compounding sales. They build on top of each other. You're not having to reach out and resell to the same clients year after year. It starts working for you every year. That's the idea of it anyways. Now, the other big piece here that we do is we do referral commissions. So if you bring on a client and then they refer a client to us, we'll give you commission for that second degree sell. That's what we call a second degree. So you didn't directly bring them in, but someone you brought in was the source of that new prospect. It won't be the same as a direct commission or a direct sell, but we do pay you. And we pay you every year. So again, that compounding sales comes in handy. So it's fantastic. All right, the last two things here that are really unique is that it's flexible. So again, one of our pillars, you can work when you want, how much you want. where you want all those things. There's no set schedule, no set minimum. This is all you. You'd figure it out what you want to do to be successful. Now, with that in mind, you will have to work to get sales. That's just part of the game, right? Working, but you can choose how you do that and figure out what works best for you and your lifestyle. And then finally, something that's pretty unique is that there isn't any experience required. You'll see in a second that we have all types of sales reps that come into the program that may not necessarily have sales experience or any experience whatsoever. But the key here is that you're motivated. If you're motivated, you can make it happen. You can learn from other sales reps. You can learn the trade, the art of selling stuff. All right, so what do we do? What does Tandem do to support your success? That's a big key piece of the program here. We do regular QA sessions. Right now, we do them on a weekly basis, but we will do them no less than bi-weekly. And these are meant for you, for our sales reps, to ask questions about what can help make them more successful. Maybe talking about objections that they run into, various obstacles, or better ways to talk about a specific service. Education in general. All these things are part of that QA. The training academy, most of you will go through, which is the second thing here, which is where we teach you about being a sales rep at Tandem, the specifics, how the commission structure works, how our services work, common ways to sell the services, things we've come across while we've been in business. These are things that will be available for you as you begin to study and learn to pass your verbal exam. And then finally here, last thing we do is sales support chat. So you'll be part of a chat where you can ask questions. So say you're chatting with a CISO and he has a question about something in particular about how we do our service, hop in there, chat, someone will answer you as soon as possible, pretty quick, actually. So that's the third piece here of the support we offer. All right. Now let's talk about the types of sales reps that we have seen come through the program. There's three types really. So one is those who come in with sales experience already, specifically sales in tech. So typically they already they know how to sell, they know how to talk to the people that we're targeting. They also usually have a Rolodex of contacts already. So it makes it a little bit easier to get in the game and start selling. And then lastly, they're a member of their tech community, wherever they happen to be at. And so it's a lot easier to get in there and start selling again. So they already have the connections and it's just them talking about a new type of service. So this is the type that usually has an easier time of getting their first sell. The second one is the technical person. So a lot of technical people don't necessarily have the sales or marketing background. So it's a new trade for them, a new skill set or tradecraft for them. And they're interested in opening up a new stream of revenue or even just learning the game of sales. So we get these in, they're experienced in cyber, so it's really easy to teach them what offensive security is and about the services we offer. And the hard part and what they have to overcome is learning how to actually talk to people about sales, how to make the sell, all those things. So this is the second type of person. The final person that we usually see come in is a college student. They're in typically a cybersecurity or related major. They're interested in getting some experience, interested in meeting people, and interested in learning from those already in the industry, which is fantastic. We love to have that type as well. So they're already out there networking, which is fantastic. So they can use that as an opportunity to start making sales. Additionally, they may be looking to start creating a revenue stream while they're in school before they start looking for full-time work. So fantastic opportunity. Now, there are other types, this is open to pretty much anyone who's interested and motivated, but these are just the three types that we typically see. Now, the traits of a great sales rep, the three things that really tie this together are one, that you're motivated. I've mentioned this several times already. You have to be motivated. Sales are tough and you have to be motivated to push through those obstacles, to try to understand how your communication may be failing or not working, trying to understand what is working and continue to replicate those successful efforts for other prospects. So yeah, definitely got to be motivated. Two, you have to be great at communication. So a lot of being in sales is all about communicating the benefit of the service, how it could tie into their security program, why it's different than others. Communicating, you're going to be doing it nonstop as a sales rep. And in general, it's just great to learn how to communicate. I mean, anything in life you're selling, whatever it happens to be. And then finally, being adaptable. This kind of flows in line with being motivated. You got to be adaptable and change to the giving circumstances, adapt your current skill set to that of a sales rep. Adaptable is probably one of the key things that you can be to be successful. So these are the 3 great common characteristics that we see with amazing sales reps. Now, with that, that's it. So that is the overview of our sales rep program. So if any of this speaks to you and it sounds like a great idea, we'd love to have a conversation with you at least to see if it's a win-win for both of us. And you can do that by reaching out to Tandem Cyber Solutions /sales-rep-info and filling out the interest form down at the bottom of the page, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. There, we'll also post the link down in the comments. Other than that, I look forward to chatting with you. See you next time.